Hey, how's it going there? A little bit more progress has been made on this boat. I'm about to cut the dash open for a step for the walk-through windshield. I'll show you that in a sec. I have cut out the back of my stringers for bilge pumps. So I'm gonna run 2 bilge pumps, both 1,100 gallons in the, an hour? 1,100. So there's that. It's the easiest way to get them closest to the back towards the bottom. For the most part, I put bilge pumps right here in front of the motor before, but they don't end up seeing a lot of water. Another thing, I got these guys welded in. And those are pretty self-explanatory. A lot of dust in here. Oh, I also did my last piece of the floor. So the back of the composite floor that comes with the kit runs flush with here, and then this is like barely showing on the floor, barely showing. And then I added a little more bracing here because the seat's basically right here, so there's going to be somebody standing here constantly, both sides. My steering helm mount, I did pick up the one from Jetstream, but it's so long. It comes out to like here, and then you've got your tilt helm and all that, and I'm running another adapter because I want to run my street, like a different style steering wheel. This is the wheel I'm using. It's out of like a 20 some odd foot cigarette boat. So it's actually not leather, it's actually like rubber and stitching. It's crazy. And it's all stainless, so it's actually really heavy. And then the hub that I'm using is one of these guys. So that's also gonna stick out, make the wheel stick out even further, right? So I ended up hacking the mount down to 3 inches on the top. And yeah, also noticed, say for instance, Torchcraft. They don't use one of these mounts at all. They just take the tilt helm, they reverse it, and they mount it upside down, which when, I'll show you. And then you've got your tilt helm tab, this tab here, sticking up in front of your instrument cluster or your dash or whatever. That being said, it doesn't give you tilt up enough. So when you're standing in these boats, which you do a lot of because you want to see rocks if you're in skinny water, right? So here's your steering wheel, roughly when you're sitting down. Then when you're standing up, you've got to go up and over. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to reach down and then to turn, right? You're reaching down and then down again. If you were able to get proper tilt on your helm, you're like this. Now you're steering it like a bus while you're standing up. It's way easier. So you can get tilt pretty much like this out of your tilt helm. Then you're driving like a bus, or if you're standing up driving, you're up and down like this, and it is a pain in the ass. So I recommend using a mount. That's a lot better, a lot safer, because you're more in control. And another thing, you could, mount it to the dash, but if you're mounting it to the dash, see, this is giving you an off angle, right? But if you're mount your thing straight to the dash and have your tilt helm switch on the bottom like normal, look at this angle. Here, let me get a piece of this. Your steering mechanism is gonna be pointed down like this, if you can really see it. But I did actually throw it in for shits and giggles and look at it, and it is like pointed straight down. So it looks like that hanging down. So you're gonna be bumping your knees or legs or kicking it, whatever, right? So it is nice to have a mount and push it up, like further away from yourself. All right, I'm gonna get to cutting out this dash. I've got my lines drawn. Basically this piece is gonna be saved, and I'm probably only gonna drop it like maybe 6 inches or so, but I'm also gonna cut this back a bit and then bend it again because I don't want it too low down here, because in the middle here on top of my floor, I'm gonna mount a Milwaukee quick release for their pack out system, and I like to have my cooler right there. So let's get to it. Let's get cutting. And I am worried that when I do cut it, the dash is gonna buckle because of the windshield being welded in already. The whole thing's gonna probably twist one direction or the other. So what I'll probably do is cut the fronts first and then clamp. It's not really any room left to clamp something there, but I'll try and clamp a piece of angle across and then do the rest of my cutting and just see where that goes. All right. Well, that fit perfectly. The drop only ended up being like 4.75 inches. Ended up cutting that one piece of the dash back, curled it over like 90 degree break underneath, so it still maintains that still same underneath shape. And the fit, you're back in school, my instructor always told me your weld is only ever as good as your fit up. If you have gaps, the arc is going to favor either side, never both sides equally. So especially with this with aluminum, your bead will also it'll like try and chase one side, and then you could whip it over to the other side, but man, is it ever a bitch. So that being said, you want tight fit ups, and fuck, I'm impressed myself with this one. Just got to clean up the soot a little bit. I'm only going to weld from underneath, which I've already done on the bench. The fit's so nice and tight. Sure, I got a little bit of burn through there, a little in the corner, a little spot there, and a little spot there. But I don't see a need to run a bead all the way around this. Besides, welding into corners is fucking not easy, so I'm gonna leave it at that. And that is fucking money. I'm stoked. So I'll show you what that looks like with the floor on and the cooler underneath, and I left 5/8 of room to slide the cooler in and lock into place. All right, there you have it. Just enough room to still slide that thing out. Oh, it's not bolted down or anything, but you get the idea, because it's got to click forward and then lift up, slide out. And that won't be in anybody's way, because I had the same thing in my 10-foot boat, which was a lot smaller inside than this one. Yeah. I am pretty freaking excited.